let's jump right into this. Did Uber and Lyft quietly cut drivers' pay? Are you a driver that's making less each week? If you stay to the end of this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on. Now, when it comes down to this big topic, about Uber and Lyft and the pay and how much people are making each week and things of that nature, there's a big belief that the economy is the reason why drivers are making less money. I guess everyone is factoring, they're looking ahead, man, look at the gas prices, all over. Folks, so let's just break this down, okay? The government, what's going on in the government is the reason why the economy is bad, okay? Of course, everyone is disgusted by this regime in the White House. You know what I mean? The Trump regime. And the government is all over the place, and it's just the economy is resulting from all of the bad decisions that they're making in the White House, okay? The gas prices is the one thing that affects the gig economy, right? There's pretty much nothing else that Uber and Lyft drivers are suffering from with the economy other than the gas prices, okay? That's a major part. And here's why it's a major part. Because you have the amount of hours that you have to drive to earn a certain amount of pay versus minus the amount of gas that it's going to cost you to drive that certain amount of hours to earn that certain pay, right? That's all affecting how you earn, okay? Now, when it comes down to what's actually going on, I'm going to give you all a story, okay, from a few years ago. So 2 years ago, when I was driving, I received a trip that was going 123 miles that wanted to pay me $46 or $48, right? And that trip would have took 1 hour and 52 minutes. So I declined it. And they kept sending it back over and over again. So I'm like, keep trying. I'm not taking no trip like that. So let's talk about this trip so you new drivers can understand how trips like this are just predatory. They're just pure greed on the algorithm, whether it's Uber or Lyft, okay? Now, this particular trip came from Lyft, okay? Lyft is so greedy, and what they do is, now, this trip is going to take 1 hour and 52 minutes or so to drive there to pick this person up for $46 or $48, whichever one it is. I can't remember, right? Okay, so that's 1 hour and 52 minutes of going there to pick that person up. Of going there to drop that person off. I only had 3 minutes. It was a 3-minute trip to pick the person up. But then 1 hour and 52 minutes to drop the person off, right? So if you took that trip for $48, you're going to drive 1 hour and 52 minutes. you're going to burn up a lot of gas in an hour and 52 minutes on the highway. Okay? You drop that person off, then you have to turn around and come back. Now, I get it. A lot of you all going to say, hey man, just stay there and do a couple of trips. This is where you still at a loss. If you wouldn't have took that trip, you would be in your designated area, that a city and counties that you're driving in for an hour and 52 minutes. You wouldn't make a lot more than $44. Okay? Even if you didn't, you're still locally. Okay? Now, you're going to be driving, hitting, dinking and dunking, getting $3 and $4 and $6 and $8 here and there locally, right? Now, if you drive an hour and 52 minutes, that's going to burn up a lot of gas. They're only paying you $46 or $48, right? So if you stay there and do a couple of trips, stay there and stay there and do a couple of trips and then make your way back, right? And let's say you stay there for another hour or two and you make about $30, $40 and then you head back. Who's paying you for the trip coming back home? So that's gas that's burnt. It cost you gas to get there, an hour 52 minutes. That's going to be at least $30 in gas, depending on your vehicle. Then, if you stay there and you make $30 or $40 or whatever, and you turn around and you come back, that's another hour and 52 minutes. People, do you understand that you're going to be out of that $30 in gas regardless what you do? So, the moral of the story is, what you going to make? $20 for that trip? $12 or $13 or something for that trip? If it's going to cost you $30 to get there, okay, and then you stay there and you make $40 or whatever, $30, and you come back, and it's going to cost you nothing, what you making? You ain't making nothing, basically. So, when people talk about the economy being the reason for what's going on because of the gas prices, that's bullshit. What's going on is the greed in these algorithms. It's a lot of drivers out there that's been driving for 2 to 3 years and still don't know how much percentage Uber and Lyft is taking on their end from each trip. Oh, well, I can go in there and look at the breakdown. That breakdown don't tell you shit. That breakdown does not tell you what the driver paid. Well, at least it didn't when I was driving. I haven't driven in almost a year. But ain't nothing changed. And are they telling the truth? You know, they show you a price and it's your choice to take the trip. But they don't give you a full breakdown, a truthful breakdown of what the passenger was charged, the percentage that Lyft is taking, their service fee that they're charging you, and what they're paying you. Only thing you can go on is the cents per mile that they've offered you to take that trip. You understand? So people that don't understand why you're not making a lot of money, each week it seems like your money is just is not adding up. It's because the economy is affected by the gas prices. That's it in the economy. It's not adding up per the hours that you got to drive to make a certain amount of money, minus the gas that you got to spend to drive that certain amount of hours. So it seems like you're coming out with peanuts, which means that you're working for far less than the minimum wage. Now, let's talk about you people that driving in high demand, medium high demand, and high demand areas. Okay, y'all can drive in $4.50 a gallon gas areas because the demand for rides in your area is tremendous. Then, on top of that, the bonuses that they're going to offer you all are going to be far greater because with that medium high demand and that high demand for riders in your area, there comes a need to entice the drivers to come out. So you all are going to get the bigger portion of the bonus pool, okay? Because they need y'all to come out and fulfill that demand. So yes, there's going to be a lot of drivers going to say, oh, well, I'm doing just fine. But that's just you or maybe 1,000 others. What about the 10,000 others that's not? This is the imbalance in the algorithm that I've talked about in other videos when I say things like, hey man, you got hot spots and you got dry spots. People, when I'm leaving these videos to y'all, I'm breaking down the science of how this algorithm is working. Artificial intelligence is what's controlling everything. The Uber and Lyft and all of this other gig work for the last 20 something years, maybe 15 to 20 years, have become the new cash cow of corporate America. People like me that have experience with these platforms and who get on YouTube and other places and talk about it, and seems like that we have something against the platforms because we didn't do good, are looked upon, are frowned upon as people that's complaining. My people, I'm not here to tell you not to drive for Uber or Lyft, nor am I here to tell you not to deal with gig work no matter what it is. I'm here to give you 100% authentic information. I learned everything that I learned the hard way because when I began driving, there was no one out there on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, nowhere on the internet that was given first-hand driver experience. What I went looking for is all of the YouTube channels where people were saying that they were making this much a week and that much a week. Anybody else that was complaining or saying, man, don't drive for Uber and Lyft, I ignored them. Because the channels that I would run into, they had all of the followers and the subscribers would tell me, hey man, don't pay any mind to anybody's complaining, their negative energy. They'll just look, just because it didn't work for them, they want to say it's not going to work for you. People, those small, when you see an individual with bad video lighting and maybe got 20 people done looked at the video and he's saying or she is saying something, people, don't ignore what those folks are saying, okay? Don't ignore what those folks are saying. Now, when it comes to people wondering, did Uber and Lyft quietly reduce the driver's pay? The whole gist of the whole thing is the profit margin that Uber and Lyft is taking. They're making billions of dollars, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They are. And the drivers are only getting crumbs. If you think I'm lying, look on YouTube and you tell me where you see one driver that's only driving and don't have no books that they done persuaded somebody to buy, ain't selling no coaching calls, claiming to be such an expert in Uber and Lyft, not selling any products or anything, just driving on a daily basis, that has become a millionaire from doing that. The only millionaires that are being created is all the people that have something to do with Uber and Lyft gig apps platforms, whether it's people working in IT, whether it's people that's managers, or they have something to do with controlling the systems, and vice presidents or executors and all. Those are the only millionaires. The people that's actually doing the work, the drivers, are not. You don't see one millionaire that says all they do is drive for Uber and Lyft, and they are a millionaire from it. And you're not. You're not. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you're going to have one or two, or maybe 1,000 or more, that's going to say that they made 150,000 this year driving, right? But they're not going to tell you that they're driving in a high demand area, a medium high demand area, and they're not going to give you a breakdown. If they do, they're going to fabricate it. The 1099 tells you the actual breakdown, not one that they're going to alter, one that you get directly from the driver's platform in your app. The amount of gas or electric charge, the service fees that Lyft and Uber is taking breaks it all down. That's why people in the Lyft Express program don't make any money. Because when it's all said and done, the service fees minus the cost of the rental car on the year, minus the amount of gas that it's going to cost you to make said amounts of money on a yearly basis, leaves the drivers with crumbs. I'm talking 100% authentic information, people. Okay? If you are a driver that's experiencing making way less each week, the economy is only guilty of the gas prices. Because of the government, the gas has fluctuated, okay? But the real truth is the high percentage that they're taking from the drivers, okay? Lyft and Uber is taking anywhere from 60 to 70% of the driver's earnings. Now, we are the ones that's doing all of the hard work, dealing with customers, relations, all types of things. And the middleman is making more money than the actual individual that's doing the physical labor. This is why I tell you people, gig work is just like a casino. It's a cash cow that was created by corporate America. And we all know casinos, the house wins at least 75% of the time. That 25% of winners out there is to keep everybody else coming back. And they use that as marketing tools. So those people that you see on YouTube and Facebook and Discord saying that they have a strategy because they're making so much money a week, and they're showing you all of the earnings, the screenshots of the earnings that they're making, that's the 25% in the algorithm that's driving in medium high demand and high demanded areas versus the other 75% that's losing. Now, I'm just keeping it 100% real with you people. Hey, how you doing, man? And I'm just trying to give you all the best information that I can give you all. All I ask you to do is subscribe to the channel, like, and share. That's it. Hey, man, I ain't asked you to buy anything yet. Well, recently I have an ebook bundle, Lyft Car Rental Secrets, what every driver should know before renting a car from Lyft. Check that out. It's out on Gumroad. Link is in the description. Hey, man, you all have a wonderful day. And if somebody didn't tell you today that they love you, I do. I'm out.